You know, we think we know certain places, especially a city like Los Angeles, famous for Hollywood, sunshine, all that surface level glamour. But what if there's a secret identity hiding in plain sight? A spiritual destiny that was written into its very foundations from day one.
I mean, really think about that. What if a city's name wasn't just a label, but a kind of mission statement? Well, according to the spiritual research of Ruffel Novak, the story of Los Angeles is nothing less than a cosmic drama. And its name is the key that unlocks the whole mystery.
So, we all know what LA stands for, right? Los Angeles, the City of Angels. Simple enough. But Novak's research uncovers a startling alternative. He suggests that the abbreviation LA has this hidden, almost karmic meaning, pointing to two incredibly powerful adversarial beings, Lucifer and Ahriman.
Okay, so who are these guys? In this framework, they're polar opposites. Think of Lucifer as this dazzling, false light, all about grand ideals that are completely detached from reality. And then you have Ahriman, who's the total opposite, a cold, hard, calculating materialism that says the spirit doesn't even exist. The whole idea is that a place like Los Angeles is constantly caught in the tension between these two.
But to really get a handle on this spiritual drama, we have to zoom out. I mean, way out. Because this story doesn't just start with the city. It begins with the ancient memory of the Earth itself, with these echoes of legendary lost continents that literally shaped the world we live in.
So, this research suggests that the American coasts are like living memories of these lost worlds. The West Coast is tied to Lemuria, a land of fire, volcanoes, constant transformation. The East Coast, on the other hand, carries the legacy of Atlantis, a world of water and air, a memory you can still feel in its hurricanes and storms.
And this quote just captures that character of the West perfectly. It paints this incredible picture of a land that's still raw, still primordial, like a paradise that's being guarded by a flaming sword. All right, now let's shift gears and look at the continent from a totally different angle. The research suggests that we can actually understand North America as a single living organism, one that's structured just like a human being.
So here's how this model breaks it down. The North, Canada, acts as the thinking, intellectual head. Down south, Mexico is like the metabolic system, all about warmth, fire, and will. And right there in the middle, the United States. It's the heart and soul, the rhythmic circulatory center. And you can even see that two-beat rhythm in its two-party political system.
Okay, stick with me here. What if we take that exact same three-part idea and we just turn it on its side, rotate it 90 degrees? Suddenly, you see a similar dynamic playing out, not from north to south, but between the east and west coast of the US.
The easiest way to see this is to just look at their biggest cities. On one hand, you've got New York City. It's the East personified, crystalline, vertical, sharp, a city all about form. Then you've got Los Angeles, the embodiment of the West, sprawling, fiery, metabolic, a city that just seems to have no boundaries. One echoes form-giving Atlantis, the other form-dissolving Lemuria.
And here's the wild part. This isn't just some poetic metaphor. The geology tells the exact same story. Los Angeles literally sits on a foreign piece of land, a different tectonic plate, a piece of ancient Lemuria that crashed into the continent. The San Andreas Fault, that's the scar from the collision, a place of constant grinding and tension, with over 300 tiny tremors happening every single day. That's the physical proof of that metabolic character.
So, with all this cosmic background and geological chaos, why on earth would anyone choose to found a city right in the middle of such intense spiritual and physical tension? What was the plan?
Well, the secret, the whole intention behind it all, it begins with a number. Not a random one, but a very specific, very deliberate number, 44. That's how many people were chosen to found the city. Exactly.
And that precision was everything. It was a perfectly balanced group, 11 men, 11 women, 11 boys, and 11 girls. Novak's research suggests this number symbolizes the cube, the geometric shape of the New Jerusalem from the Book of Revelation. The idea is that a sacred, formative, and stabilizing geometry was planted in this chaotic land from the very beginning.
And if you thought that was intentional, just wait till you hear the city's full original name. It wasn't just City of Angels. It was the town of Our Lady, the Queen of Angels. This wasn't just a nod to Mary. It was a name for Sophia, the highest feminine aspect of the divine, the very wisdom of God.
But you know how things go. Over time, that grand, powerful name went through this karmic shrinking. The Queen of Angels, Sophia, got shortened to just the Angels. And today, most people just call it LA. The very initials that, in this framework, call on the adversarial forces the city was meant to transform.
So is that it? Is the story over? The mission a failure? Not at all, because the same geography that creates all that tension also holds the key to its redemption. Los Angeles, you see, sits at a sacred crossroads.
This is so cool. See, almost all the major mountain ranges in the Americas run north-south, but right around LA, you got the transverse ranges, and they run east-west, creating a literal cross on the landscape. This research suggests that this cross acts like a spiritual threshold, a protective barrier that holds back some of those chaotic forces, creating a sacred space where culture can emerge and where redemption is actually possible.
And that brings us right back to the ultimate mission. The whole purpose of Los Angeles, its deep spiritual task, is to consciously work with these adversarial forces, Lucifer and Ahriman, to transform them, and by doing that, to redeem the land itself, and finally allow Sophia, the Queen of Angels, to take her rightful throne.
So what this framework really puts forward is a pretty radical idea, that our landscape isn't just dead rock and water, but it's alive, with memory, with purpose, with a spiritual task. And it leaves us with a pretty big question. If a city like LA has such a profound hidden identity, what's the secret story of the place you call home?